What's up guys, macadii here, and today guys, the announcement video and also draft analysis of the Bouffalant builds at the GPC World Championships. Now if you guys are excited, don't forget to leave a like down below, I would really appreciate it. So how the GPC World Championship is working is it's a 32 team draft league tournament where all of us as a sort of group collectively draft 6 mons each, so none of us can have the same mon as anyone else. And basically we've drafted 6 mons each, and those are the 6 mons that you have to use each time that you battle. And obviously you can prep depending on, what your opponent's going to be bringing, so you can sort of prep around that. So I ended up being 9th in the draft, so I was fairly happy with where I was, and we'll run through the picks in a sec. In terms of how the tournament's going to work, I'm in a pool of 4 at the minute, and that's the sort of first set of rounds, and you battle 3 times, 1 against each of your opponents. The top 2 people from that pool then move up to the next stage, which is basically more like a classic knockout tournament style, working its way up to the finals from there. So hopefully we can make our way up to, at the very least, the next sort of rounds. In terms of the uploads, I'm going to do 1 upload for each of the battles, because I still want to make them, do them properly, do them in depth, and sort of talk about them, because especially when you know what they're going to be bringing and they know what you're going to be bringing, it makes the prep even more key and really important. So yeah, hopefully it should be really good. There's a lot of great players in here as well, so it should make for some really good battles. Okay, so let's move on to the draft analysis. So the first pick that I decided to go for was the Mega Latios. Now I'm really comfortable with the Lati twins. I absolutely love them in draft format, so it made the most sense for me to go for this guy. He, being 9th, I knew I had a good chance to get it. My first ideas were either like Greninja, because there was XY Greninja, and I wanted to give that guy a go, because its speed is absolutely insane. But that got sniped from me. A couple of the standard Latios ones were taken as well, and I was like, actually... sorry, maybe it was just the Latios. I was like, actually, no, I want to go for the Mega version. So I went for the Mega Latios. Really nice, gives me really good bulk to start with, gives me a really reliable defogger, which is really key. When there's 32 teams, there's not many good defoggers to go around, so that's really key. And great potential with mixed defenses with Dragon Dance and Calm Mind and all of that stuff, and really nice coverage to hit a load of teams really hard. So I thought that was a really solid pick to start building around. Having that defogger as well means that I can actually access a few more sort of Stealth Rock weak ones that other teams might be less likely to draft, just because they know they can't get a reliable defogger to be able to back them up. So that's why the next pick I decided to go for was Talonflame. Now you guys know in the DSL, I'm a big fan of Talonflame. I absolutely love Talonflame in draft format. If you can get a team that can support it with defogging, getting rid of hazards and all of that stuff, then Talonflame puts in so much work, and especially in a 6-man league, because there's not too many checks to bird spam, and Talonflame, if there's no bird spam check, Talonflame can just run shop. It stops a lot of the potential setup that I might be worrying about, because, you don't have enough sort of defensive checks realistically to be able to check everything. So having something that can offensively check most offensive Pokemon is really nice. So I thought Talonflame was great as a revenge killer, way to stop setup, and also the fact that bird spam was very difficult to handle in a 32 team league. Next up, I did want Vaporeon, because I really wanted the being able to Wish Pass, which helps with Latios. It has great synergy with Latios, and also things like Baton Pass, because I wanted a bit of like Volt Tourney going on, which I can still do with the Baton Pass. Unfortunately, a few picks before me, it got taken, so I decided to settle for Milotic. As I said, it's looking very similar to my DSL draft, but that's what I'm very comfortable with. So Milotic I was okay with. I think it's slightly overrated for what how it normally is in the GBA tiers, but considering I could just take it, I think it was worth doing. Gives me a great bulky water, and a really nice defensive mon that's a solid check to a lot of spooky offense. It gives me haze to stop setup sweepers. Competitive as well is very nice, because in case there's Intimidate users, they have to bring their Intimidate user, so I can get those boosts. Marvel Scale as well, to as a sort of status sponge, and just overall a very solid defensive mon that can be the start of my the next part of my Fire Water Grass core. So from there, I wanted some sort of electric type, and electric types are going to be very valuable for this, because there's not going to be many ground types going around, so being able to have something that can Volt Switch freely on opposing teams is really nice, and also a Pokemon that can take electric type attacks as well. So I ended up going for Rotom now. So with Rotom, that means I've got a really solid Fire Water Grass core in Talonflame, Milotic, and Rotom. it gives me a potential as a defensive mon with Will-O-Wisp and Pain Split and stuff like that. Or I can go for more offensive with Choice Scarf set and go, you know, spam those Volt Switches, especially with a team that doesn't have a electric immunity or something like that. Rotom could be really, really key from there. And just pairs really, really nicely with Milotic. It gives me another ground immunity, which is, you know, never too bad really. So it helps me being more resistant to like spikes and toxic spikes and stuff like that, because I anticipated at the time there might be a lot of teams that would hazard stack, considering how unavailable defoggers were going to be for the most of the teams. And if you just get yourself a good hazard stacker and spin blocker, you're probably pretty good to go from there. So it gives me more Volt Turn as well, which forms a nice core with Talonflame from that aspect. Can take all of the Thunderbolts and stuff like that directed at Talonflame and Milotic. And Milotic can obviously sponge all of the icing. So defensively works really, really nicely, and offensively just fills a lot of roles that, you know, are really, really helpful for the team. From here, I wanted to bring back a mon I used a long time ago in the D-League, I talk all the time about, and I absolutely love, and that is Exploud. Exploud is back. I'm so excited because there's so few teams that don't have a mon that can actually take the resisted hits and not get O-code. So if I can get this guy in on walls, he's a fantastic wall breaker, absolutely disgusting. Honestly, I would say one of the more underrated mons in draft format, and I'm always gonna love him. And just having a nuke button is always so good. It also gives me, it pairs really well with Talonflame and Rotom. So with their Volt switching and all of those shenanigans, I can actually get Exploud in relatively safely sometimes, which is really, really nice. And it just gives me something that just nukes stuff. Almost, as I said, almost every time. If he can live the hit, he's going to be able to kill that opposing mon and get, you know, at least go 1-for-1 at the very least. But if you play him smartly, you know, I've got enough bulk to go around to actually switch out on threats, trying to threaten Exploud. You know, fighting types are the main ways to actually take him out in one hit. Latios can switch into those, and Talonflame can be a great check to fighting types as well. So overall, really, really nice. It gives me, as I said, a wall breaker, which then allows Talonflame to come through and sweep. They're both stopped by grass types, rock types and stuff like that. But then I've got Milotic hits it 4 times, Rotom that hits it 4 times, and Latios can have, you know, ice. It gets surf. It gets, I'm pretty sure it gets surf. It gets energy ball. It gets all of that stuff. So I've got loads of ways to be able to take out the checks to Talonflame and Exploud as a core. Finally, I did realise at this point I do need some way to get rocks up, because as I said, the lack of defoggers means that even if you just have stealth rocks, that's going to be really, really key. So I wanted a mon that's going to give me more bulk and stuff like that to check offensive teams, some speed control, because speed control of Exploud is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I decided to settle on Uxie. There was a few choices I had, like Regirock, Registeel, which I'm not the biggest fan of. It's just a little bit too passive. It doesn't have that coverage that, at least Uxie has the coverage that you can just pack enough coverage just to sort of stop it being set up on. Has fantastic defenses there and really nice speed. I love the speed on this guy, because you can make him so he just outspeeds slightly slower, scary threats and actually kill them before they can get you back. So that's really, really nice. And I know it's 2 psychic types, but I think for my team it's okay. I can run Cold Bear if needs be. Latios doesn't actually have to worry about knockoffs that much, so it's actually not as bad when you think about it like that. Exploud can switch into the ghost type moves and stuff like that, and Uxie gives me another U-turner as well, which is really nice. So being able to get that Exploud in for free, which is going to be so good, and I'm so excited. So that is basically it. As I said, this guy gives me T-Wave support, helps me stop setup. Really, really nice coverage to be able to hit a lot of different Pokemon very, very hard. A calm mindset if is something I could bring. And just overall, just a really, really useful utility mon, a heal Bella. Just, yeah, really, really nice overall. So that is the team that the Bouffalant builds will be bringing. I apologise for my coughing. It's such a pain that I've still got this cough. And hopefully I can shake it off in the next few days. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. You guys are excited about what's coming up later on. And I will see you guys at the matches. Macadii out.